So I don't know if you were watching the Super Bowl, you might have caught that ad about Jesus, He Gets Us, where they showed people washing the feet of abortionists and gay married people and all that stuff. So we thought that was so moving that I'm a Christian, so what I'm going to do is mock atheists. This is brought to you by Genucel. You want to order right now at genucel.com/ClavanYT. My listeners will also get a free beauty box, a deep firming serum, and free shipping on all orders while supplies last. All right, so we're going to watch. These are TikTok videos where people explain why they're stupid enough to think the universe just came out of nowhere without the action of God. I don't know how they found these people. It's very hard to get an IQ that low, but we'll take a look.
Respect for every single religion except for atheists.
Atheism is not a religion. There's no moral code, no ritual traditions, and it doesn't require faith. The Big Bang did happen, cosmic inflation is a thing. You'd be hard-pressed to find a natural phenomenon that science can't explain. Also, don't be so quick to say that you have respect for every single religion, because that would also mean that you have respect for the religion known as the Followers of Christ Church, a group that routinely denies medical care to their sick and dying children, choosing instead to pray to their God for their recovery. Their church's graveyard is littered with the headstones of children ranging from 1 day to 1 week old. So are you ready to sit there and tell me that you respect them too?
No, absolutely not. I only respect one religion, the right one, the good one, the one that's true. Amen! But the idea, when you say there is a Big Bang, by the way, an idea that was first come up with by a priest, because the other stories of creation were not in keeping with what he thought Genesis said. So he postulated that there was a Big Bang, and that turned out to be the one that most scientists now accept. But the thing that the Big Bang doesn't explain is where the stuff that went bang came from. Gotcha. Where did that come from? And how come it all worked out so well for the production of life? And how come Jesus exists? I've got you there, my friend. So I did like the supercilious tone, though. You only get that from atheists. You know, Christians tend to be humble. They sort of understand that they're sinners, they're broken. You know, the real true Christians, they tend to be, you know, understand that we're all sort of in this kind of soup that Jesus gets us out of. But the atheists, they have that smugness, that superciliousness that just makes you want to take their nose and twist it around. So that is an advantage that atheists have, if you want your nose twisted around. All right, let's hear another.
Here are 3 logical reasons why not believing in God, aka Sky Daddy, is actually beneficial. Number 1, that God only exists inside of your mind and is a reflection of how you see yourself. So how judgmental you perceive this God to be is how judgmental you are. Which leads us to number 2, that it reinforces believing that thoughts are the truth, which is literally the experience of hell. Your thoughts about yourself, about reality, are always f***ed. They're never, ever, ever the truth. And number 3, if you get triggered when someone says Sky Daddy doesn't exist, you're pretty fragile. And it's funny because if it is an all-powerful, all-knowing being, why the does he need you to defend him?
I love the certainty, you know, people with faith, they have faith because they know that they don't know, but they have become convinced and they take the little leap of faith to past the axiomatic truths that lead them to God. But the first argument, nobody believes in a Sky Daddy. That's not a real thing. Those are pictures that people had to represent the thoughts of people. That's A. But B, the idea that God is anything like me is so far from the truth of my experience that it's just, you can't make that argument. And the third thing is, if you can't be certain of what you're saying, of what you think, how does he know there is no God?
I rest my case.
Well, that got me. Yeah. Frank, do you want me to put me over? Yeah, all right. What?
Never mind. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm talking to these people. They're on TikTok. That's the end of the conversation. Whether you have 3 minutes in the morning or 30 minutes, with Genucel, you can keep your face wrinkle-free. Not sure which product is for you? A great place to start is their Gen 90, the new instant wrinkle treatment from Genucel. Gen 90 instantly reduces the appearance of wrinkles anywhere you use it, around the eyes, laugh lines, and even the chin. It starts working in seconds. You'll never worry about your skin or your confidence again. Genucel's technology is luxurious, nourishing, and silk smooth. There's a reason why Genucel has 400% the customer loyalty of other skincare brands. And it just gets better. Genucel's XV is a collagen builder moisturizer with vitamin C and hyaluronic acid in a pure natural base for stunning results day after day. And right now, Gen 90 and XV are included in their bestseller package on sale now. Make your fine lines and wrinkles disappear wherever they are and before you even leave the room. Order right now at genucel.com/ClavanYT. My listeners will also get a free beauty box, a deep firming serum, and free shipping on all orders while supplies last. That's genucel.com/ClavanYT.
He committed genocide. He endorsed slavery. He's incredibly misogynistic. He views women as property. He curses children for the sins of their parents. He expects and demands to be worshipped and adored. He's xenophobic. He asked a guy to kill his own son to test his faith. He drowned the entire world in a flood because he regretted making humans. He turned a woman to salt because she looked back at her home while it was burning to the ground. He killed his own kid. He's vindictive. He's cannibalistic. He's ableist. He is impatient. He's jealous. He gave women periods and then called them unclean for it.
He was special.
He's bloodthirsty. He used to make people kill animals just so they could be forgiven. He punishes people for not believing in him. He created Satan. He used to make women marry men who assaulted them. The Crusades.
I hate that. I don't like that. He made life, and life sucks because you have to live and do things and feel things and be existing. That stinks. And things aren't as good as I want them to be. And I blame God. Or actually, I blame that woman. She's actually, I do have to, just a quick piece of theology. When she said he tested a guy's faith by making him sacrifice his kid, meaning the binding of Isaac by Abraham. He told Abraham, sacrifice your child. And then at the last minute, he told him, no, I'm going to replace your child with a ram and you can sacrifice that instead. Everybody was sacrificing babies. And so he was teaching Abraham how to use symbolism to please God. And ultimately, he taught us that we don't need to sacrifice. We don't need to sacrifice anything. So it's people who are a little slow to learn. It's not God who's slow to teach. All right, but, I'm sorry she's so angry, and she's probably on having her period. That's probably what's bothering her.
I just don't trust anything that bleeds for 5 days and doesn't die.
You rotten guy.
If you say that there is no God, you have to have evidence for that.
Okay. If there really is a God that actually exists, then no one will ever see this video.
What? And why? How come these atheists look so unhappy? You ever been to church? Has anybody ever been to church where people greet each other? They're happy. They sit and talk. They have this kind of confidence. They come out of church. They feel great. And all these people are so, there's no God. And if you believe there is, you are, they'll curse and everything like that. Seems like a bad deal. But go ahead. So it says, God, when he sacrifices himself to save mankind from himself, and everyone loves it, and he laughs. What can I say? These guys are just too smart for me. They're just too brainy. They just see too much into the absurdity of faith, the faith that taught them everything they know, the faith that actually is the bottom foundation of all their morality, and all the things they blame God for are actually things that they learned from Christianity, from one faith. They learned those things. That's why they're who they are. People are created by the culture they're in. Our culture is created by the religion we have, and that is the culture that has grown up out of Christianity, and they hate God because he's not living up to their idea that he got from God. And they're so smart that they've outsmarted themselves out of all the joy and love and faith that you can get from believing in God. And that's too bad. But that doesn't mean we can't make fun of them, because that's what Jesus said. He said, make fun of your neighbor. Love God, but ridicule your neighbor. Maybe I've got that wrong. I sometimes forget. All right, let's see another.
If I tell my wife, if you don't love me, I'm going to set you on fire, am I a loving, good husband?
If you set her on fire, then you never loved her to begin with.
And if God sends us to hell, he never loved us to begin with.
Wrong.
Okay.
Well, first, God doesn't send us to hell. We send ourselves to hell. That's the first thing. Secondly, I did set my wife on fire. She loved it. She thought that was great. Wow. These guys are they think they're so smart. It is fun, you know. Just to say, by the way, nobody knows anything about hell or about heaven, really, except that one is good and one is not so good. We don't even know. There's one theory that you basically, if you don't find the eternal part of yourself, you can't live. You know, it's just like if you don't go to the gym, you get flabby. You know, it's like that things have consequences. So we don't know anything about that. But he saw a picture once, and maybe he saw that Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol where the guy goes to hell. And that's what he's talking about. Who knows? What else you got?
God is evil. I've thought that since I was a child.
We had one more to show you, but as she started to say there was no God, she vanished. So I don't know what that's about. But don't let that happen to you. Don't try that at home, all right? Because you'll be much happier if you believe. And if you believe, you will see. And if you see, you will know. Try it. If you're too smart to believe in God, or even smarter and do believe in God, like and subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.